Hello, this is Pixie doing another video. So I'll cover a couple of different topics. So OMAD, I'm still on my OMAD and I've been doing some research. So what I've started to do is do a kind of calorie reduction. My body's kind of adjusted to fats, it's not particularly over hungry. Having sugar though can kind of throw it out a bit. But it's pretty adaptable as well. But the only thing with sugar is you want to have a little, if you want to sort of experiment with how well it's adapted, and you want a small amount really. And if you've got shakes and you're still hungry, you're not quite fully there yet, so to say. But if you're not really feeling hungry, then you probably are. There's no real concerns there. So that's the focus area at the moment, and I'm just doing a calorie reduction because what happens, initially you lose weight because your body adapts, and then when it adapts it starts using its autophagy, and it starts regenerating using its dead cells and tissue and stuff like that, and holding on to stuff. So it's quite an adaptable bit of kit, your body. And then so you might be having 1,500, you might have 2,000 calories, you might have 2,500 and not eating a lot. Your inflammation is right down, so you don't look swollen and fat. You don't seem fat and sort of in the neck. That's just where your glands are really, that's why you lose some on your face. And you feel very much different. And you feel fairly healthy, like my skin's quite good, my hair's quite nice and shiny, someone says your eyes look a lot brighter, you feel flatter, your clothes are easier to fit on, and they're slimmer and so on, but you're not really changing too much on... Oh, I'm just letting the bus out. Oh, you can wait. And crikey, squeezing me through. So for me, I was above 19 stone at one point, and then I come down a lot, and I went 19 stone. Now I'm below 19 stone. I'm like 18 and a half. But then sometimes I get on scales, it's closer to 18. It's so varied. I just don't know. I've been on lots of different scales, to be honest, and without boots, with boots on, without clothes on, you know, anything. Just after I've been in the toilet. There's times in the day you seem to be heavier, which is interesting because I think your body changes like shape, doesn't it, as well? And that's usually the shrinkage and stuff on your body and your spine. So I wonder why you'd become heavier at night. So it's just a case of inches is probably on your waist and hips more important, and also your body changes as well. This might sound a bit gross, but I actually think my dick's bigger. It sounds strange to say that. I think it's because if you get inflammation internally, it pulls things in. It doesn't seem to be so bothered now. So I wonder if I lose weight, what might happen. But it's just one of the things. I don't know to share things like that. But it may be for a woman, you know, like a breast firm up and stuff. So the hormones may have improved, or some other chemistry that's in the body. It could be that certain things affect these areas and compromise them. I mean, they do say about female hormones and sort of male hormones and stuff in food, and your body has to process that as well. And if they've been injecting the animals with things to make them grow quicker, you know, like your cow meat and stuff like that, it's going to come to you. It's going to go through the food chain. So they might have a detrimental effect on, like, say, your own hormones and stuff. So that was a weird observation, but that's just something I know. So yeah, it's just a case of playing with the diet. And so I come across this video. I said, well, I'm not trying to lose weight because they're aware of this area of recycling. So 1,500 and above, there seems to be an area where the autophagy occurs, and you sort of recycle a lot of your cells, and you become more and more efficient at it. So weight loss may be more harder. Your body's absorbing resources in from the outside, recycling stuff. It makes you wonder when people have vaccines. So they've got this DNA of viruses floating around the body, but if they're not using it to sort of recycle, that's the thing. They're just leaving it it's just dirt basically. It's grime. It's grime in your system, in your pipes. So you want to get that cleared out basically. And yeah, I feel really positive. So I was going to thought, well, I'm going to reduce it because I don't know if I'm as hungry as I used to be, because the body's not craving this rocket fuel anymore. It just wants good old-fashioned diesel, which in this case is the fats. It's quite happy for that. It doesn't want nitrous glycerin or some sort of a nitro charged up fuel. It's fine. And so yeah, but I've had the thing where you sometimes good to have some glucose. It's not a bad thing. You still lose weight because you've adapted, and the glycerol you're getting is from your muscles. So you're just giving it a little top up and then letting it drain, letting the resources drain again, which is fine. There we go. So I'm going to continue this OMAD. I've had four boiled eggs. I was going to have one. I was going to say, could I have one egg? What would happen? Because I should be more efficient. Like I say, with this, getting to the point where I'm using more of myself, recycling. If I'm burning fats and I've got fats, why would I feel hungry? That's the question. It's only when I've got no fats that I'm going to get really hungry. But then your body's got to the point where it uses the autophagy to counter this, so you don't get dizziness and other things in the same way. I mean, you would if you had like dehydration. There is stuff about dry fasting, but I hate to wake up with headaches in the morning, and that's usually when I'm dehydrated. So I probably naturally get myself dehydrated anyway. So I don't really want to do that, because I don't think that's wise. It makes me sluggish, tired, and sort of worn out. You will lose weight quicker because your body's feeding off the fats to stop you getting dehydrated. However, when you start drinking again, it just replenish if your body's got used to it, so it's adapted to it. So you're like a camel. So you've done that. Once you drink hot fluids, it's going to be back on your body, and that might be not a good thing. Because say if you did some fasting, water fasting, and then you broke your fast, and then you went out on a bit of a drinking binge or something. You went out and had a lot of bevies and so on. That might go straight into your fat cells, so you might end up putting on weight really quickly and increasing your body weight. Because your body thinks, well, I've got more fat, we can dehydrate more often. It doesn't matter now, and your end result is that you just got bigger. So yeah. So we'll see how I do today. The 4 eggs, and just focus on that. Anything else is annoying? Yeah, somebody stole my phone. I was with a client, and I didn't hear it hit the floor, and I just whipped it out. I was wearing this jacket actually, and I just popped it. My pocket was slightly unzipped. I just popped it out, had a quick look. Some text come through. I don't know what it said I'm not working today or something, but it wasn't my friend who sent it, so I don't know who sent that one and wanted me to come round to see him. So I thought, oh, oh dear. And so that's not so great. But anyway, just leave it. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it was from somebody I hoping will contact me at some point in the future, it's not going to cause any problem whatsoever. If you get no contact, someone reached out and tried to contact you, if you still try to reach out to them at a later date, it's not going to be a big issue because they tried to contact you. And then you could probably cover that in the thing. You say, I had my phone stolen, back in March. That was quite a pain. But you don't necessarily. That's not really a great update, is it? On a thing. What you do is you want to leave it. So where I'm at with no contact. So we've covered fasting, and 1 meal a day is great. And then I'm looking at reducing calories so I can reduce weight. And then you're looking at the calories to maintain weight as well and change it. Other things to mention on OMAD. I mean, how far do I have to go before you start using fats around your liver? Because if you've got a fatty liver, a lot of guys have. You look at them, their framework, and they just have like a bulge where the liver is, and it's where it goes on the organs. It's that it shows on the shape of your body. It's like that thermology where you look at bumps on your head and it tells you information about the brain underneath, which probably does to a degree. It shows you energy would spike at certain points. It does work on the principle of organ actually, because you'd have points in your skull where it'd be like that, and the energy would congregate at them points or convect, and then it just project outwards. So that's probably quite true. You'd pick it up in an aura or something else or a scan. So yeah, so you radiate that energy, and it says about the organs' health and the cycles, but it's commonly that men get fatty livers, and it may take longer than a normal period to access the fats, so you may have to push way beyond 24 hours. If I've been calorie deficit, I'm bound to want to be picking up and leeching into them resources. So I bought myself some eggs, I just bought loads of eggs, and so what we've done is I've done 4 eggs boiled, and I'd repeat that pattern tomorrow, and just do that, eat 4 eggs, boiled eggs, and that only equates to, let's have a look, it's probably 620 calories or something, about 155 I think an egg, something like that. So yeah, something like that. So it's like a bit of chocolate cake, really. Maybe. Depends on the chocolate cake and the size of the slice. So that's one thing. So I think that's covered all of OMAD so far. I can't think of anything you need to look out for. And I think I'm adding a keto angle to it. That's why I'm eating animal products with fats in and stuff like that. And I think the eggs are okay. There's meant to have things that trigger in the egg whites. I'm going to raise your insulin, but for 1 meal, and I've eaten them, in 20 minutes? 4 eggs, it's not going to cause a massive havoc. If you combine it with other foods, it may be the resource to trigger that. Also, the thing about insulin responses is that it might have a homeopathic response to it. So often people eat eggs in association with sweet things, and the body knows that. So the body thinks, oh, egg, is going to be sugar involved here. It's going to be other things, so it automatically may respond to it. It's a bit like some people associate rice as we only put rice in rice pudding. So they kind of, that's their thinking. It may go deeper than that. It might be more the internal aspects of how the body works at a subconscious level. So yeah, it's interesting. So you can probably do a homeopathic way of treating the body as well. You just eat a food and remove the sugar, and then eventually the body will say, well, there's no need to have insulin involved here. This is a different type of food source. You know, it's not a cake or anything, so why bother? And that might be the way forward. So I'm going to move on to no contact, which I sometimes talk about. And for me, it's been over 3 months, which is fine. It could be 3 years. It doesn't really matter. I mean, sure, after 3 years, you should be doing something else for your life, not chasing after one person. Or you'll be in a position whereby you keep the options open. So if the person reaches out, you can go out to friends. If the person says, you know what, I think I made a mistake, I think I do actually like you, or whatever comes out at some later part of you, and then you've got the option to say, well, that's fine, we could just start things off slow and see where we go. And that's probably a nicer way of dealing with it. So, like I say, it's been 3 months for myself. I still really like her, but I'm kind of open-minded now. I'm not caught up with a person, I'm more caught up with the type of person. But I do think I could win her over, and just to get to know her, because I think there's a lot of potential there. But the other thing is you don't get delusional and say, well, it's going to work out, because if someone's not wanting to, you can't move them. You can't move them forward, backwards, or whatever. But you can present the opportunities, and if they are in tune to what they, potentially want in life, if they want a partner, if they want someone to love, or they're looking for something meaningful in their life, then they probably would engage at some level. But you need to make yourself look attractive, and that's prove your appearance, prove your health, brain, money, whatever. You've got to work on all these things. Car, even just change the interior of the car. So if in the future the person sees you at any level, or anybody is aware of you, they would turn around and say, oh, he's got a new car, oh, he's got this, he's got that. It generates a little bit of curiosity, that the psyche is related to what's around you. If I dressed exactly the same, didn't change, so what I've done, let my hair grow and doing this OMAD stuff, and it's not for her, it's for me. I've realised that I've become stagnant, and so I need to become. Movement is the sexiness. That's the freshness. You know, there's a Bruce Lee thing about water doesn't go off when it's moving, and so if you become stagnant, you become defeatable in that sense. Because you're predictable, disease occurs, you become vulnerable. But if you're moving around a lot, you've got this vibrant energy, they're like, whoa. It's only if they're stagnant that they might say, well, they might want to say, well, I might need to update my game so I get involved and do more with my life. Or you look at them and you see them as stagnant and you're not. They become less attractive to you and you think, well, why was I so hooked on this person? I mean, sure, they had interest, but they didn't want anything else in their life. Or they expected everything to be done for them, or whatever the reasons would be for becoming less attractive to that person originally. I mentioned I keep on encountering a lot of older women are like, well, yeah, you should have someone look after you, you should get a girlfriend, you should get a girlfriend. So you hear a lot of that, which kind of compounds you're on your own, but then it also reinforces the fact is that you may not need anyone at the moment anyway, you just need to get on with your life. Or it's like, how does that feel? And you think, well, it doesn't bother me at all. So that's really cool, you know, that kind of thing. So you're in the right place, basically. So you need to sort of do an anxiety check on things. So I haven't had any contacts for 3 months. I did send a letter. There's nothing bad in it. It's an acknowledgement, but in a friendly way. I didn't want to dig up stuff because the person would look at it and just screw it up, probably. You want to say, well, you know, this and well, that. So I made it quite jokey, and I said, I was a bit of a nightmare at the time, and lovey-dovey and all, as you are, sort of thing. You know, so I've kind of smoothed it over, but it doesn't. What I really want to say is that I'm not kind of any concern or threat. You want to lower that off the anxiety straight down. Someone says, look, you make me anxious, make me uncomfortable. You really want to drop that, because that's not where you want to be in the first place. It's just that you're, as a bloke, at that point you was vulnerable, and it was only a small period in time, but it's enough to reflect that is you all the time. Well, that's the last memory. So you're getting this thing out saying, look, this is me, this is who I am. You know, and then they kind of don't overjudge me. And so I've done these positive steps to reflect who I am, and I feel good about that. And also intention. So you put a lot of energy into a nice letter. You've taken your time to understand the nature of the person that you're writing the letter to, and the format of what you want to deliver. So you planted the seed, but now you've got to let the seed grow. So as long as you feel that woman or that man would read that letter, they should do. I mean, if you sent something out of the blue, you'd at least look at it. And so that's the next bit, is that you really need to have the important stuff at the start. Or what will happen is the person may lose interest in what it is, so it's got to be short, sweet, effective, and that's your kind of business style. You've done one approach, and that was an acknowledgement letter. So you've acknowledged your faults. Well, you've acknowledged the basically how they feel. You've taken on board that, and you understand that you created a problem, and then you've kind of said where you've gone with your life. You know, basically you want to relight that fire. That's what they're looking for. And that's just of curiosity, interest, or whatever's trying to go on there. They might be not up for a relationship, which is fine, but you've done what you need to do. And so the next step is you either move on, which is great, and moving forward doesn't mean you have to forget that person. You just go about your business, but you left the options open, because people do come back to other relationships and things. They do reignite with partners and stuff like that. Or you could just cut them off completely, and then you would know that would be your choice, I guess, and how you felt about making a decision. It's not so nice though. People cut other people off because they're toxic or they're harmful to them and don't want anything to do with them, full stop. Often it may be done by people, if they're protecting their family, got children involved, that's quite often the case. So moving forward with what I'm trying to say, because I could just go round and round on things. And so where would I like to be next? So it'd be nice if they make contact. If they don't, it's not a problem. Get on with your life. you've got the whole life to do it. You know, you can always leave it 6 months, leave it 3 months, just drop a little postcard, hope you're doing well, just like you care. You don't not care about the person. Or if the person said, look, just leave me alone or whatever, then you just have to walk away from that one eventually, because you're going too far, really. But if you write so little, you're igniting an interest, but you're not really. I mean, it's no different than someone you get in a leaflet for your door of junk mail, a pizza leaflet. Sometimes you read it and think, oh, that's nice. That's a nice pizza right there. That's a nice margarita. It depends what you see in the actual layout of it. Or you look at it and think, oh, not another one of these. And, you know, it's like something that's cheap here. This is not important, and you bin it. So it's not going to cause any harm. So I think the next thing is to look at is re-strategize, as they say. So I've looked at it and I'm thinking, you know, I look at the thing about this person and think, well, so why didn't it work out? Why was there an issue? What was the blockages and stuff? And you think, well, the person said they were recovering from a relationship, they were numb and they didn't really look for a relationship, they felt uncomfortable. And so you can look at your own experience. For me, I went through a divorce. I had a period where probably for 4 years I wasn't really interested in dating or anything. I just went about my business and focused on my family, and I was sort of engaged with women at some level, but I wasn't really letting anybody in. And so I can understand. So that's the platform there. I can understand how you feel. You know, I forgot what it was like, and from experience. And then you've got to think, what could I do to create a really positive reaction? And I'm thinking, do you want to? I would like to go on holiday, right? So I think, okay, why don't I invite her to take her away? Let's take her to some place you'd like to go and see some old friends. That's what she said. And I can sort of say that we go out as mates, and or you say just go out and then go out and see these friends. That might be a nice way, sort of. Then you might use the word make it up, or you might say you just want to go on a bit of an adventure, and you know, it gives us a chance to you know, touch base, have a chat about stuff if you want, or at least get to know you better as a person. And it's kind of nice, however you know the person, the selling point there. So it's kind of not necessarily clinch the deal, but you're obviously, there's something in it for them. It's beneficial to them, so that's why they should consider what you're saying. They might not react to it, and that's fine, but then you've got to look at it. You tried so hard, how far are you going to go with it? So, you know, so offered to take them. So we went to, let's pick this destination. So we went to Wales. To see this person's friends and go off on a little adventure and get to know each other a lot better. And then you say you understand sort of the healing process because you was there yourself. I'd like to help you get through that process. But to be honest, when you're ready, I would love to be your boyfriend or partner. You know, I mean, or however you want to do it. It's very difficult. You don't want to sell that pill there, but I think there's a long-term goal. You wouldn't put a lot of energy in just to be a friend. You can be, but then you still got to be looking for a relationship. You can be a friend if you're with someone, but if you're not with someone, you care about them. You're going to be into conflict with yourself. So I mean, it depends what they want. They might want a relationship, but they might not be ready for one. So carefully strategizing and look at it. That's what I think. The person isn't ready for that relationship, and so I got kind of some mixed signals, like she liked me or liked my company in certain ways, but what I was saying is I was offering her this deal of commitment that she couldn't do, and possibly, I don't know if there would have been a nicer way to approach that. Just could have found out, you know. So would you be looking to date someone in the future or something, or you know, or you'd have to say very casually. You have to be quite cavalier. So you know, personally, I'd love to take you out for a meal and get to know you a lot better, and that would probably be a lot better than, you know, I got feelings for you, which would probably blow everything apart. It's too late. You've gone too far that way, and if the person got feelings, you messed up then. Which is one of the hard things. You've got to avoid saying how you feel. If they say it and you're secretly holding back on it, then you can sort of think about it, and then you can, well, I don't necessarily tell them how you exactly feel, because it could be a test. See, it's so complicated, psychology. So play it careful, but just because something hasn't worked doesn't mean it won't work, but you do need to be realistic. So I'm just going to cover a quick psychology of mine understanding is that men have sort of two two main areas, I would say, is hunters and gatherers. Now, when you find someone you really want, you want to gather. You gather information, you collect information on this person, you focus all your resources on this one resource that you're trying to get in, because you know that will make a difference to your life and whatever other plans going on in yourself. But then when you go to a different mode, which is your hunter mode, you are more aware. You know, when people walk around, like men, especially men walk around, and they notice women around them. They're in a hunter mode, so they're aware of these females around them. So you switch from seeking one person to a type of person, and that way you're open-minded to what might happen relationship-wise, and you're also not worried about rejection or anything like that, which could come as a result of it. And then the only problem is where you don't want to be as a man, you don't want to be both. You don't want to be a hunter and a gatherer, because if you're focusing on resources on one person and you're trying different sort of survival methods of trying to get this person's attention, you will go to extreme lengths that will basically set you up as some complete stalker. Like, you'll be checking when they're outside, when they leave in their house, they'll be going to places where they used to go and trying to make observations. Have they got a new man in life? And you'll be reacting to everything emotionally, and that's so unhealthy. You do not want to be down that road. So that's the thing to avoid it. So the thing is, what's the difference? The difference is the space and the behaviour. You only have one approach, and then you leave it, and then you don't. It doesn't. There's no issue around, and then you take time to acknowledge it. And you think, well, there's no rejection. I'm not worried. And then you've planted that seed. So if they've got this letter of yours, they probably shoved it in a drawer somewhere. They've read it. They put it away somewhere. They might have destroyed it. But if they got things of yours there, they're going to at least reflect on it and think about it. And so re-strategize is that you try to do things one way. You do something. If you can't appeal to one part of them, then you've gone as far as you can, really. I mean, if you turned up in person, then they'd find that threatening. But you could just keep on your radar, and that would be sort of, if you found something of interest they like, and you truly just care about them as a person, you're no longer looking for love. I think if you've gone that far, and then a blue moon might send something of interest you've come across, or something just reminds you of them. I saw this the other day, and you might be interested in it, actually. Hope you're doing well, and that's it. Postcard communication, and and then if they are at a place where they think, well, he's a nice person, maybe I should have a chat with him, then they can. There's no problem there. And other attractive qualities, a lot of people put men off in society because they don't believe they should be a masculine, like direct or the dominant or something like that. They say they don't want something, but actually they do. They're looking for. They're seeing how easy to knock people back, and being independent for a man, a survivor, and things like that. I mean, the fact that they don't easily give up shouldn't be an unattractive. Only that they have the ability to deal with it correctly. If they go off and put pressure where they shouldn't be, then it's obviously not a wise move. And they're adaptable, highly adaptable, and then just, like I say, focus on other people. And because there's things that will be noticeable to the other person, they'll be aware of things anyway about you. So yeah. Anyways, big sign off, and have a great one.